Attorney General Eric Holder had put together a press conference, and they were going to talk about people that might be hacking into either companies or the U.S. government. There's a serious danger. Just over the last couple of days, there's been a lot of stories about China doing this. So obviously everybody thought, okay, this press conference is probably going to be about China and other foreign governments and how we got to be careful, and we do. And we do. That's important. Turns out, nope, it was mainly about WikiLeaks. Which then leads me to think, I wonder why they put all those stories about China hacking into the news. People were wondering, it's not something that was commonplace, and you're letting China know that we know what they're hacking into. Well, it turns out it might be because they were setting up a big press conference on how bad and evil WikiLeaks is. So, quote, disgruntled insiders may leak information, this is Attorney General Eric Holder obviously, may leak information about corporate trade secrets or critical U.S. technology to hacktivist groups like WikiLeaks. No, China is not the problem. WikiLeaks is the problem. Because they're used to playing patty cakes with China. WikiLeaks is actually revealing to our own people the bad things that we're doing as a government. That's a threat to Eric Holder. That's a threat to Obama. That's a threat to Republicans and Democrats alike. WikiLeaks is a much bigger threat than China is to their own personal careers. That's what this is about. Now remember, Vice President Joe Biden had already called Julian Assange a, quote, high-tech terrorist. Well, okay. How quickly did the terrorist label morph into whatever they're fighting against, right? Even if it's someone that doesn't harm anyone. Now, CNET's reporting on this, and they say the administration will increase international law enforcement cooperation, and the FBI and Justice Department will prioritize these investigations and prosecutions. Now, I want you to think about that for a second. This is the same Justice Department that just can't seem to prioritize going after the biggest banking crimes in history. So, and not just bank fraud, but remember, HSBC did the money laundering for the top drug cartels and for Al-Qaeda. And the Justice Department couldn't prioritize that at the top of the list. So actual terrorists helping them and getting them money, not at the top of the list, can't prioritize it. High-tech terrorists who actually haven't harmed any civilians, but actually harmed the careers of these politicians and these government officials, they get moved up to the top of the list. Oh my God, look at the WikiLeaks hacktivists! Hacking. It's so important. Let's go get Julian Assange. In fact, of course, there is already a grand jury that is investigating WikiLeaks in Alexandria, Virginia. They have been impaneled. They're doing a criminal investigation. And CNET also explains, if prosecutors allege conspiracy to commit computer crimes, they could avoid some of the free speech problems they'd face in an Espionage Act prosecution. So one other element to this is, oh, computer crimes are super serious. They endanger all of America. And by the way, some of the corporations, which is who we actually work for. And so computer crimes take precedence over freedom of speech. Your freedom of speech, not important. The ability of the American people to find out what their government's up to, not important. Computer crimes at the top of the priority list. We got to go get Assange and WikiLeaks. We're supposed to live in a democracy.